It is time to turn this program over to you, the viewers. You have sent in some phenomenal theories of what you think happened at Moselle. And to help me navigate through, joining me is Lauren Matthias. She's the host of the Hidden True Crime podcast, and Tony Brueski, who's the host of the podcast Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski. Okay, you two, let's start with Kirby Poston. Kirby is from Bluffton, South Carolina. She's been following the case since 2019, and she's actually attended the trial. And this is what she sent in as her theory.
My theory on the case is that Alex shot and killed his wife and son. Part of me also thinks that maybe he didn't shoot and kill his wife and son, but that he was involved. Either case, he was absolutely there when these murders happened. Now to his testimony for the last 2 days. My thoughts are, he does come off as a narcissist. His rocking and his tears are very, very well rehearsed. He's had a lot of time to sit in jail over the last year or so to think about if he was going to take the stand, if he wasn't going to take the stand, and now he has. He believes that he can lie and buy off the jury with his tears like he did all of the clients that he stole from. Bottom line, I think he's guilty.
Okay, there's Kirby. And by the way, guys, shout out to Kirby's 96-year-old father-in-law. His name is Ray Buddy Blankenship. He is a World War II vet, and he watches every night. So, Buddy, thank you for your service, and thank you for watching. It's like, I love hearing, about guys like that. Okay, Tony, I'm going to get you to weigh in on that one. Kirby thinks that Alex's rocking and the tears were all phony baloney.
I would 100% completely agree. I mean, this is someone who I think throughout the day has been triggering to those of us who have dealt with narcissists and gaslighters in our life, because there's like a formula that they all use to try and make us believe their lies and their BS. And they think they're all being so unique with it. But at the end of the day, it's like they all went to the same convention at some point and said, hey, here's how you deal with people. And we're all left in their aftermath. So, wow. Yeah, I agree.
You guys you're a tough crowd. Okay, this next one is from Melissa Bauer. Melissa is from Joliet, Illinois, and she sent us this theory. Take a look.
Like you, I believe a liar and a thief does not make you a murderer. And in this case, I don't think we will ever know who truly murdered them. Yeah, Alex finally admitted to being a liar and a thief only because he was caught red-handed, just like he admitted to being down in the kennels because there was no way he could deny that was his voice on those tapes. But it's still not enough evidence to show that it was him that did these murders. Now, yeah, it could have been someone from the boating accident, but there's no proof there. Or maybe he was just so high in opiates that he doesn't remember, but he wasn't showing that way on tape. So I just really don't think we'll ever know who did it.
Lauren, she's leaving us hanging. We'll never know. I think Melissa has a point about not knowing, but she says not enough evidence to convict. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to say, in my opinion, being there 2 to 3 minutes before the murders happened at a rural hunting lodge is enough evidence for me. I don't know of anyone else that would be able to come out there within that time and commit those murders. And secondly, when she said that's just not what we saw at the stand, I want to point out, thank you, Tony, for what you said about him. I want to point out that, remember, those tears, this is the same man. Remember Hakeem, what he did to Hakeem's family. A paraplegic, remember what he did to Mallory Beach's family and how he treated them. Remember how he treated Gloria Satterfield's family. I think he's more than just another liar. This is a man who lacks empathy.
Listen, it's terrible if you've been terrible and then a murder happens. That is terrible. But I always come back to a liar and a thief does not a murderer make. I'm just one of those kind of people. Okay, David Vaughn sent this in after watching the first day of Alex on the stand. Take a look.
Ashleigh, so on today on the stand, Alex said he would never intentionally harm them. Is it possible that it was an accident on Paul and then he had to take her life to protect himself, since he said not intentional?
Oh, okay. Tony, 10 seconds for you, 10 seconds for Lauren.
Completely agree. That stood out to me 100%. I would never intentionally hurt them. There was a little bit of pause there, and it made me wonder the same thing. Was it a Freudian slip, or what was that exactly?
Okay, go ahead, Lauren. You can add to it.
I agree with the intentionally. Did he feel like he was between a rock and a hard place and he had no choice? Did he have to do this to save his family's legacy? Intentionally, but would he?
Okay, there's another video. I don't know if we can show this, but there's apparently there were some dogs who were watching the testimony as well. Can we show that video? We'll just go out on that because, dogs on a Friday night, it is an essential. But there you go. This is what these doggies thought of the coverage they were watching today. I'm just going to quiet for a minute. That just makes me feel good. Hey, Lauren Matthias and Tony Brueski, thank you both. I appreciate it. Happy Friday. Happy weekend to you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.